But something that I'm realizing is that doing stand-up is a lot like childbirth. You must release like crazy hormones in both situations that make you remember it as a lot more chill and pain-free. The entire time I was deciding whether or not to do stand-up, I had to keep reminding myself, you really liked this last time. So anyway, thanks to the miracle of childbirth, here I am. And speaking of childbirth, in one of my classes a few weeks ago, we watched a live birth. And I decided I'm adding it to my bucket list. And it's a good thing I now have something on my bucket list, because a few weeks ago, there was nothing there. For my entire life, I had one singular thing on my bucket list, and it was to go skydiving. And then that happened, so childbirth is filling that spot. Everyone stay tuned. Unfortunately, I think while I was skydiving, no birth hormones were released during that. I was freaking out so much that the Chilean man who I was strapped to the chest of had to lead me through guided breath work. And, that anxiety, pretty on brand for me. Yeah. But something I do like to say about myself is I don't have a ton of social anxiety. But I think I really could benefit from a level of this. It means I'm not great at reading the room. And I did know this about myself. When I was younger, I went to a horseback riding camp for kids with special needs. Did not read that room. But a new flavor of this emerged for me when I went abroad this past year. And I think it was a little maybe worse, that it was a whole existing in a second language situation as well. I had been abroad for a few weeks at this point and had already had a few blunders. I thought people were complimenting me, and really they were just asking for my last name, or my passport number, or thanking me for holding the door. But anyway, I was at internship, and we were all sitting around a table having lunch together, as you do at internship. And I was starving, so I started eating before everyone else. All I'd had for breakfast was some runny strawberry yogurt with the company of my constipated host dog. And so I'm chowing down on this rice, and I hear a conversation of some sorts happening, but I'm really not paying attention. It's in Spanish, it's hard to understand. But I do hear them saying this word that starts with a G over and over, but I don't know what it means, so it's not a bother to me at all. And in retrospect, there was some picking of their food happening, but I was not reading that room at all, and I really should have. My boss stops the conversation and says, "Oh, do you know what we're talking about?" And I said, "No, sorry, is there a task I'm supposed to be doing after lunch? What's going on?" He was like, "Do you know what gusano means?" It means worms. People have been finding worms in their rice all lunch. The room, silent. I looked down at my plate, completely empty. I realized I'd eaten a plate full of worms at lunch, and that's an issue because I'm a vegetarian. So I really wish my constipated host dog had been there, because he really needed that worm laxative a lot more than I did. Anyway, I wish that I had kind of graduated from the not reading the room when I returned back from my abroad program, but unfortunately that was not the case. I had to go to physical therapy because my back hurts every day. Shout out, back brace not working. And so I go into the physical therapist, he gives me the gown to change into, leaves the room. When he comes back, he opens the door, looks at me and says, "Oh my gosh, you did not